back to the chalet. I realize now that I never should have moved.
Well, Daryl, it's not your fault. Can I get anybody anything else? Do you want some more coffee?
Yeah, thanks.
Listen, I'm curious about this Lombard case. Now that the defendant is deceased, are you going to proceed with the trial, or are you just going to cancel it? What's going to happen?
No, I won't be doing that. The entire case has been handed over to Jason Benedict.
This is without a doubt the best fried chicken I've had in my whole life.
I think that's a slight exaggeration.
It is not. Of course, you're talking to a boy who gets most of his chicken out of cardboard boxes.
You know, all this talk about fast food sounds to me like a, there you go, a ploy for sympathy.
It's true. I'm feeling desperately sorry for myself every time I think of our little fishing cove on the Amalfi Coast and that Epicurean feast.
I'll never forget that calamari.
The squid surprise?
Yeah.
That was an amazing trip. I mean, it started out like fantasy, and then it just got very, very real.
Yeah, it did. It got very real. I mean, it changed me.
Me too. I got on that boat, and I was feeling cynical and jaded, and then I met you, and I just felt rejuvenated, you know, like I could make things happen, like I believe in myself again.
So, you want to tell me where I fit in?
You don't beat around the bush, do you?
I don't have to.
No, you don't. I'll tell you what. You want to take a moonlight stroll with me?
Sure.
Okay.
Here, why don't you wear Seth's jacket? It's a little warmer than that. That's not exactly regulation.
Thank you, I will.
Farm gear.
Good fit.
Oh, boy. Look at all those stars. I think we'll go down to the pond. It's really romantic down there.
Julie, I've got a great idea. Everybody's asleep. We could have the pond all to ourselves, do a little skinny dipping, and then afterwards... Hello? Oh, hi, Angel.
I'm glad to be back. When I slowed down for the curve and the brakes failed, I wasn't sure.
It's okay. I must admit, though, when that guy called me from the garage and told me that you'd been in an accident...
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scare you. I just couldn't dial because my hands were
It's okay. Here, come on over here and sit down.
So, I pulled the emergency brake and I swerved in time and...
Maybe we ought to call Ellie and let her know that you're not going to pick up those papers tonight.
No, I already called her and took care of that while I was waiting for you.
Well, one thing's for sure, I'm not going to let you leave here again tonight.
I've decided I'm going to call Iva and ask her if I could stay over at the farm.
Well, there's plenty of room here at Cal's.
I think I better stay at the farm tonight. I still remember sharing Mickey's room with just that wall between us.
And pretty soon, that wall is going to be gone forever. I'll heat us up some coffee. Then you call Iva. You know, it's probably my imagination, but I couldn't stop thinking about what happened to you the other night. I kept wondering...
Yeah, that crossed my mind too, but the mechanic said that it wasn't an unusual problem, and I hadn't had the car serviced in a very long time, so...
Did you say anything else?
It'll be ready sometime tomorrow, and he will give me a full report on why the brakes failed.
Well, I'm anxious to hear what the problem was.
Yeah, me too. Though, actually, there was something odd at the garage.
Like what?
This car drove by, and it slowed down. And I wouldn't thought anything of that, but the same car came back in the opposite direction while I was waiting for you, and it slowed down again.
Did you have a chance to see the driver?
No, but I know it was a man.
Hello? Hello? Look, I know somebody's there. What do you want?
Antonio's painting his portrait.
May I say something?
I'm working on your shoulders so you can talk if you like.
Ah, good. You know, Sabrina, I'm very pleased with the way this has all worked out. I much prefer sitting for you than for Colin.
One of the reasons I accepted this commission was because Colin absconded with your advance.
Surely you don't feel responsible for that.
I was married to him. To me, that constitutes responsibility. After the thefts in London, I offered my services to the Lister Gallery gratis to try to make up for what he did.
Well, that sounds like something you would do. I felt responsible for the hospital bills Meg ran up after her miscarriage. Even though I knew the child wasn't mine, I still felt responsible. And I knew the Snyder family couldn't incur that kind of debt.
So you understand?
I do. So, is your family busy getting ready for Thanksgiving?
Yes. It's sort of an odd holiday for me, but it seems very important to them.
Oh, I thought it was odd at first, too, but now I rather like it. It's nice to see an entire nation take a break to give thanks for their blessings.
Do you have any special plans?
No. It's a family-oriented holiday. I have no family. They were all killed in Montega.
You're quite a hero in Montega. I understand they even erected a statue of you in Cartagena.
How did you hear about that?
I like to know all I can about my subjects. So I went to the library and I looked up everything I could find about you and Montega. Please don't move your shoulders.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Can you move a bit to the left? A bit more.
Sabrina, maybe you should come over and position me yourself. Sabrina, it's all right. You don't have to be afraid to touch me.
Do you ski?
No, not really.
Well, you know, even though Carolyn's had the accident, I'm still an enthusiast for the sport. Maybe sometime I'll be able to give you a few tips.
Sure, great. I don't think this winter's a good time to start.
You know, my sister Franny, she's an avid skier.
Yeah.
Hey, Lila, how about you? You a big skier?
Me? No. I've never skied, I never will, and I'm too late to learn.
Oh, come on. You're in great shape. You know, you're the youngest mother on earth. I'm still not convinced that in real life you're not Margot's older sister. There you go.
Boy, you sure know how to butter me up, don't you? I've got to get going home here, you know?
Yeah, it's late.
I'll grab the coats.
Listen, Darrell, you know, now that you and Carolyn are here in town, you ought to come out to the farm for dinner one of these nights.
Well, thank you, Carol. That's a nice thought. I think mixing with people would be good for Carol.
Yeah, well, we'll arrange that. Now, you see here, wasn't this a better way to end the evening than hitting the books?
Well, I'm going to pay for it in class tomorrow.
Oh,
You're so dumb.
Yeah, right.
Bye-bye, Mama.
Hey,
Bye, Cal.
Bye-bye. Good night, thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Get you there? No, sleep. Sorry. There you go.
Darrell?
Okay.
Pleasure.
Drive safely.
We will.
Okay.
I'm gonna run along too. Hey, listen, it's been a wonderful evening. Actually I feel a little guilty about having so much fun while Carolyn's back in the hospital.
Oh, stop it. She wouldn't want that.
Well, thanks again for a great evening.
No, thank you. You're the one that paid at Mona Lisa.
Oh, it's no problem. Hey, gorgeous. I'll see you later.
Okay. Oh.
You still have not changed a bit.
Oh, man, you still know what to say to girls.
See you later.
Get out of here.
You still have not changed a bit.
That's a cheap imitation.
Oh, you want cheap, huh? All right, you haven't changed a bit, you know what
Stop
I
it
mean?
now. I thought you and Darrell got along just fine.
Yeah, he does know how to charm the ladies, like you said.
Oh, well, he's always been like that, you know. He was a big jock in high school, so he had guys around, but he was surrounded by women.
Well, he had the good taste to hang out with you, didn't he?
Don't you ever forget it.
Enough about Darrell.
Wish I knew who called earlier. I could tell somebody was on that phone.
It was probably Caleb calling for Cal.
Yeah, you're probably right. And he hung up when he heard my voice. I assume that was the guy from the garage who called?
Mm-hmm.
Ivan and Jason were here? What did he say?
So the car is going to be ready at noon tomorrow, and he'd give me a full report on where the brakes failed. What is it?
I was just remembering everything that went through my mind when he called and told me that you'd been in an accident. I believe if I'd...
You're not going to lose me now. Because you're back in my life, and I've never felt so safe or so loved.
Or I wish you'd say something.
Like what?
Like, turn over the Lombard case to somebody else, like turn down the investigation into the Harper family, like that.
Well, I want to. I mean, but how can I? How can I when I see that you're so excited about it?
Well, a part of me is, but another part of me knows perfectly well that it's going to be a repeat of the years that I spent wallowing in the corruption and the violence.
Well, how about this? How about this? How about if you know that I will sleep better knowing that you're out there protecting me?
I would sleep better if I were next to you. Why can't my life be as simple and as straightforward as it was on the SS Napoli?
Because life isn't simple. You're not a simple man. I mean, you chose that career out there protecting innocent people.
As I said, you have to make sacrifices. Now, if I'm going to accept the Attorney General's offer to head the Harper investigation, I'm going to be working undercover, and I'm going to be putting myself and anybody close to me in danger. Now, I cannot ask you to share that. Can I?
If you are embroiled in this investigation, how much time is there going to be for me?
Not a hell of a lot.
That's what I thought.
I'm at such a crossroads here. That's why I came out here, because I wanted to discuss this with you, because it's going to affect both of our lives for a long time.
I think you already made that decision a long, long time ago.
Well, it looks like we're back to the reality that we both dreaded so desperately.
I don't really dread it so much anymore. Thanks to you.
I have so much to thank you for that I don't even know where to begin.
Well, why don't you let me begin? You'll always be a part of my life. And no matter where you go or what you do, I'm always going to be a part of your life.
And I will be with you, even if it's not in the way that I would prefer.
Hey, it was a good time while it lasted.
Okay, this is something its dad
Can wreak such havoc with your muscles.
I'm certain it's even more difficult for a man who's normally so active and used to being in control of every situation.
Do I detect a hint of sarcasm in that remark, Sabrina?
No. Oh, no, certainly not. I only meant that when one is sitting for a portrait, he or she has to be aware that the artist who's painting it is very much in control of the end result.
Ah. And when do you intend to give me a glimpse of what you've captured so far?
Soon. When it begins to take more form.
Uh-huh. Here, let me help you with that.
Thank you.
You are very welcome. And you are very, very neat.
I try to be. Everything in its proper place, as Mona used to say.
And who is Mona?
She was the nanny who raised me after the people I believed to be my parents were killed. And then later, when I was a young woman, she became my dearest friend. I think of her so often. I wonder if I would have made so many mistakes if she'd been there to talk to. But little use in wondering what might have been.
Is that another of Mona's sayings?
No. That's mine, actually. I've tried to live by it since the awful truth came out about Colin.
Well, you know, Sabrina, I've learned that out of truly bad experiences, there often comes some good.
I'd very much like to believe that.
Well, take our situation as an example. Colin disappears, so you feel obliged to do my portrait. If that hadn't happened, I wouldn't have had a chance to meet you.
Not much of an opportunity, I'm afraid.
If there's one thing I'd like to change about you during the course of these sittings, it's that.
What?
The way you're constantly putting yourself down. Sabrina, you seem to have a very low self-esteem. You should be proud of yourself. You're successful, you're talented. You're very beautiful when you're not trying to hide it.
Please, I wasn't, as you Americans put it, fishing for a compliment. I've never had a great deal of confidence. Except where my work is concerned, and only recently there. My mistake in ever marrying Colin in the first place was one I paid for dearly. It's hard to believe in yourself as a woman when the man who supposedly loves you finds his satisfaction through the company of other women.
Well, Sabrina, Crowley is a fool. He's proven that yet again since your divorce. So why should you care what he thinks of you?
Because I grew to love him. I put my trust, my future happiness in his hands. And because it's an area of my life that still frightens me a bit. Competing with other women for the love and attention of a man.
So you do everything humanly possible to make it appear as though you're not competing. Well, Sabrina, we've all been hurt. After my experiences with Meg and Sierra, I could have lost all self-confidence. Neither of them married me for love. Our divorces were ugly with unpleasant accusations, but that's when you have to look inside yourself and find your own self-worth. You can't judge yourself based on someone else's opinion of you.
What are you doing?
It's all right. I'm just going to start removing some of your defenses.
No,
it's all right.
please.
Look, I know you can think for yourself. I know you have the courage to form your own opinions. Otherwise, you wouldn't be standing here with me now in my own home, especially given your family's opinion of me.
I do try to always judge things, people, for myself.
I can see that you do. But you need to use that same judgment when you form an opinion of yourself. I think I can help you. Yes. Sabrina, come with me.
Where?
It's all right. Don't be afraid. Just come over to this mirror. All right. I want you to see yourself the way I see you. I see a young woman, very good breeding. I see a woman with fire behind her eyes, who's a little afraid of all the things she feels so passionately. I see a woman who's eager to love and to be loved. A woman who's a little bit afraid of all those things, yet wants them. Do you see the woman that I see, Sabrina?
I'm not certain.
Then I'll make you see her through my eyes. I'll make you feel your own passion to the passion that you ignite in me.
The first day I color my hair, I love the color, the feeling. To keep it, now I have L'Oreal's new discovery.
Yeah, I was thinking, what is really for young people? Well, you know, when I was raising my kids back in Iowa, I used to go ice skating and sledding, all that winter stuff, and... Oh, and now, forget it. I just hope that Katie won't feel cheated by her dear old mom.
Here you are, a smash sensation at the Mona Lisa. You're studying for a master's degree in a new specialty, and you've got the cutest little girl in the world. That doesn't sound old to me.
Just hearing you describe it makes me feel tired.
Yeah, well, maybe so, but, you know, I think all that incredible energy is what keeps you so youthful.
Well, I guess Daryl isn't the only one with a silver tongue. Well, you have a safe trip back, and give my very best to Josh and Meg. You know, I think of her as a daughter.
Well, you know, Meg is still waiting for you and Katie to make a visit to Waco.
Well, that's out of the question. I can't go.
Why? I've got a jet airplane. It's just waiting for the word.
You have a jet?
I got more than one.
Well, that's very generous. You're a very generous person.
I'd say it takes one to know one. Well, I'll just hang out here until you get inside.
Oh, that's not necessary, really.
You sure?
Yeah.
Well, all right, then. I want to thank you for a wonderful evening.
Yeah, thank you.
Good night.
Whew. Courtney, do you want me to help you dry there?
No, thanks. I can manage on my own.
Something bugging you?
No?
Come on, I know better.
I'm just upset about the way you put down my taste in literature in front of Seth.
I'm sorry, taste in literature? Come on, Courtney, get real.
How can you put down Amber to Moore when you never even read her?
Well, okay, all right, why don't you loan me one? I'll read it over the weekend.
You'd hate it.
Oh, Courtney, come on. Look, I'm trying to be fair. You're right. You're absolutely right. I shouldn't put down Passion in the Everglades until I read it.
You'd hate it anyway.
Why do you say that?
Because it's a romance, and romances scare you ever...
Go on. Go on.
No, I don't want to go away with bad feelings between us.
I know what you're going to say anyway. You're going to say, since Julie, right?
Yeah. I don't understand why you're so afraid of love, because you got burned once.
Well, thanks for dinner. Hey, I'm glad you're going to be here for Thanksgiving.
Me too. And you have a wonderful trip.
Well, it's just a long weekend, really.
Yeah, well, if Sean's as smart as you say he is, he'll never let you fly home. Well, I guess I should go before I make a fool out of myself, huh?
Yeah.
You know something? I am glad that we can be friends.
Does that mean I have the right to a goodnight kiss? Walk me out to the car.
The way that guy is moving in on Franny when she's to Zurich, just in the nick of time. I'll get him. Maybe it's Sean. Hello? Sean, hi! What time is it in Zurich?
You are so very, very lovely.
Well, I'll tell you something. I'm sorry you're going to be leaving tomorrow.
Oh, look at this.
I'm going to miss you.
I kept my editor waiting long enough.
Okay. I'm tired.
Go to bed.
I'm going to bed.
Go to bed.
Yes.
What's up? We're gonna miss you, man.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry I couldn't get you and Holden to reconcile your
Yeah, well, I don't think anybody can do that. All I know is we had a pretty happy home here until the kid brother showed up from England. I might not be able to save my marriage with Julie, but I know I can do one thing, and that's stop Holden from screwing up Lily's life.